Welcome to our very first midweek video. We'll be projecting the forward lines and the 14 forwards that Canada will bring to the Olympics. I don't know if you can even bring 14, but we're going to do our top 14. 4 lines and then 2 extras.
2 extras, yes.
Cool. All right. So the way it's going to work is Salsa's going to say his first line, and then we'll argue on those, and we'll discuss. And then I'll say my second line, we'll discuss, and vice versa. So we'll just go like there. And all right, Salsa, who do you have as your first line for Team Canada starting in left wing?
First line for the Team Canada Olympic team. I got left wing, Nathan MacKinnon. Center, obviously, Connor McDavid. And for right wing, I put Brad Marchand.
Okay. All 3 I have on my team, but give me why.
Why this line? So, obviously, McDavid, best in the world right now, deserves to be the center of his own line. Obviously, the top line, too. So, no need to talk about McDavid because obviously he's the best. McKinnon, arguably top 3 forward in the NHL. Plays well defensively. Can obviously shoot and pass the puck like the best of them. I would say great choice for Connor McDavid because they're both pass first, but they can also shoot. So good chemistry, good form for those two. And then I put Brad Marchand as their right wing because he is a proven goal scorer. He did finish second among Canadian goal scorers and 6th out of the whole league. So definitely he can shoot the puck in the net. And because of McKinnon and McDavid, like I said, being more pass first, obviously Marchand is just going to shoot. So that's why I have Marchand as their right wing for McKinnon and McDavid.
Cool. Okay, well, I actually, in my first line, I also have McDavid as a center, McKinnon as the right wing, though.
Okay.
My left wing in the first line for Team Canada is Jonathan Huberto.
Huberto
is the best left winger, the best Canadian left winger in the NHL right now. He is above average, if not elite, sniper. He can shoot the puck really well. And again, big body. That's a guy who can go up there and win those battles for those guys and get into the gritty areas and score those goals. I mean, I don't think you can really go wrong with either one of our 2 lines. I like mine more, but no, man, they're good. McKinnon and McDavid are the obvious top 2, right? And I mean, a lot of people want to see Crosby up there, but
that would be a good line too.
Yeah,
having Crosby up
this
there.
Is they're gonna change. I don't think the lines are gonna be the same at all.
Oh no, it might not even be our line.
Oh, they're definitely not gonna be our last one. Are you kidding me?
No one's gonna listen to 2 random Canadian kids just talking about hockey.
All right, my line 2. Starting with this, I have at center Sidney Crosby.
Okay.
Who I do think he wears the C, by the way.
Yeah.
His wingers. This is a little bit of a hot take. I have on his. I have Mitch Marner.
Okay.
And Matthew Barzal.
What?
Why
Barzal?
Okay. My second line, I want it to be an elite offensive line as well. Mitch Marner has proven he can do that, and Matthew Barzal is the best offensive threat in the Islanders team, in the franchise right now. And I honestly think his speed and his high IQ, I think, will contribute beautifully to Crosby. Not everybody can play with Crosby. We've already figured this out. But I think Barzal has a skill set to be able to play with Crosby. I like him more than Braden Point, which is why I have him on my second line.
Out of all the Canadian players that we have, I would probably bring Barzal along, but probably not on
That's fair. I just like
top 6. I don't think maybe.
I'm gushing at the potential, man. He is. That's what's so good about Canada. We have so much talent.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, okay. What's your second line?
My second line is Sidney Crosby, center, obviously.
Yeah.
Then I have Ryan O'Reilly.
Okay.
And Patrice Bergeron. So 2 really good defensive players in O'Reilly and Bergeron. And then I have Crosby just so that he can just do whatever the heck he wants and just not worry about the consequences.
Right.
Because we have O'Reilly and Bergeron just.
I don't mind that, and then they're still good enough offensively and defensively.
Yeah,
that would be a really good. That would probably be the shutdown line Canada.
Yeah.
Your second line would be the shutdown line. I agree with that, man. I like that. I like that.
Just big defense, and then just Crosby can do whatever the heck he wants. But
Fair enough.
also O'Reilly and Bergeron
Can still produce
contribute.
offense.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
Cool. All right, who's your third line?
I got Braden Point at center, Stamkos, and Marner. That's where I put Marner on my team.
Okay, we can both agree Marner's there. Okay, why that? Why them?
Well, Stamkos and Point, just the chemistry, playing with each other in Tampa. Also, really, really good players in Stamkos and Point. And then Marner just proved that he can be a really good player on Toronto. Like, he probably better than Matthews, I would say. Maybe a hot take, but I would definitely say that Marner is definitely up there in Toronto. Can definitely, like, shoot the puck. And having just the chemistry with Stamkos and Point will definitely help.
Cool. Yeah, it's a good line, man. You can't really go wrong, like we said earlier. So when I made my lines, I thought of the more top two offensive scoring lines. My third line is very much a checking line, and my fourth line, you'll see later, is very much a shutdown line. My third line is Scheifele centering Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you the reasoning. I think Scheifele is an underratedly good defensive forward.
Oh, yeah.
He's a young dude and a very, very fast skater. I think him and Bergeron can interchange. I think Patrice Bergeron is an unbelievable hockey player, but I do think he's regressing. So for that reason, I don't have him as a center. I have him as more of a winger with like less responsibility. But Patrice Bergeron is still one of the better defensive players in the league.
Oh, yeah.
I digress. This checking line, Marchand and Scheifele will be going after those pucks. Like Marchand is like a little Energizer bunny that nobody likes apart from his teammates. Really.
That's true.
He would go in and get those pucks, and this line can still produce elite offensive numbers. Which we can say about every Canadian line. But if we put these guys against like the best lines against the other team, like they'll be able to not only defend really well, they'll be able to cause chaos, and I would put the McDavid line right after this third line every time. Moving on to my fourth line.
Your fourth line?
This is the ultimate shutdown line. Okay? I have Sean Couturier centering Mark Stone.
Okay.
And Ryan O'Reilly. Literally the three of the top five defensive players in the league. I don't think I need to explain more than that. Like, I don't. I really don't. I mean, you have right winger in Mark Stone, who is also a captain for his Vegas Golden Knights. And then you have O'Reilly, who has championship pedigree because he's won with the Blues. And then you have Couturier, who is one of the up-and-coming best defensive players, like Selke, every year nomination, pretty much. Like, every time he gets votes for it. So this is the line that I would put against the best lines. Because they won't necessarily produce as much. Like, they won't put all the offense up for the team. But they're definitely going to just shut everybody down. I do not see this line giving up a single goal all year. Or all tournament.
I just like my shutdown line with Crosby, though.
That's fair. And you know what? I don't think it's like... Again, this is our opinion. There's nothing wrong. I personally wouldn't have a shutdown line as high as second line. I still think Crosby is one of the great, better offensively elite players in the league. That's just why I wouldn't have it. But who do you have as your fourth line?
My fourth line, also with Stone there, but he's on right wing. Centering would be Mark Scheifele. Mm-hmm. And this is where I put Huberto.
Huberto? Yeah, and that's good, because that would be still a really good offense.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would be more offense after offense. Like, oh my god, dude.
Team Canada is, like, basically just offense.
Yeah.
Like, elite level offense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, just three very, very, very skilled players that can, like, shoot and pass at an elite level. Also, like, Stone is also very good defensively, so, like, Huberto and Scheifele can just go out there and do whatever they want as well. Not worrying about defense too much. And with, like you mentioned, with Huberto and Scheifele, they can definitely produce even just those two, with Stone just kind of worrying about defense in case something happens. My extras, though, I have Couturier there too. I have a Couturier on the team, so that's good. And I have John Tavares. He's still really good, even though in Toronto, not really what most fans had hope for, but still very, very good player. Still has a lot to give in his career, so definitely would choose Tavares to join this group of forwards as well.
Yeah, and another captain. I like that. I like Tavares. I don't have him on mine, I'll be completely honest, but it's because of how good Canada can be. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have... I'll give you my two in a second here, but we don't have, like, the Halls or the Sagans or any of those kind of guys, right? Like, it's still a really good team. My two, I mean, you can't leave Braden Point off of your roster, I don't think.
No.
I have Braden Point as my 13th forward right now. For the sole reason that, like, I think him and Barzal for me could switch, potentially. But I do see Barzal a better fit there right now for my Crosby Marner line. And then I have David Perron as my other extra.
Perron.
So hear me out.
Okay.
So he can play both left and right wing,
okay.
which is a big thing. So like if anybody gets injured, any of our wingers, he can play other side. He can play on the top line because his offensive numbers the last few seasons, like he's been in the top 10 in the league on a couple occasions. You know what I mean? And like top 10 Canadian for sure offensively.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Right. So his numbers are there on a not like super gifted offensive St. Louis team. Like, does he have a real elite center with him in St. Louis? O'Reilly, but he's not like an offensive juggernaut O'Reilly. He's more of like a defensive-minded, but still he's really good. But I digress. Perron can play that scoring position. He can be that sniper that we need. He can be that third line pest to get the pucks and just get in and out, and he's a really aggressive, gritty player. Or he can play defensive. He can be an offense, like he can be a defensive stud if he wants to be on the wing.
I agree. I definitely would have Perron in there. I totally forgot about Perron, honestly.
Yeah, right. When doing my research, I noticed, I'm like, oh my god, David Perron's actually solid, dude.
He's just an excellent all-around player in general. So yeah, I definitely agree. I would definitely add him in with the group
just
too.
So much, yeah. These are some notable players that we're missing out on right now. Taylor Hall. For the longest time, people were considering him to be, one of the better left wingers in Canada, and he's not in either one of ours. We're missing the likes of, again, Tyler Seguin, really, really, really solid player. Two big ones. Jamie Benn's gone. I mean, he was on the team last time, but
yeah,
it's interesting too. Like the mainstays of the last Olympics, you think we had Thornton, Marlowe were playing for us at that during Vancouver too.
Yeah,
it's changing the guard, man. This is a really, really, really young team.
We just have a lot more excellent young players too.
Yeah, like Corey Perry's not on there. Getzlaf isn't on there anymore. I mean, they're obviously, I don't think they're making it because they're a little older now.
Yeah,
but it's a very new, unique team. So I personally left Stamkos off of my team. You left Barzal off of your team. Yeah, cool.
We just have so many choices that it could be anyone.
Yeah. Anyone. Oh, this team has to win. This team has to win.
Whether
it be you have three offensive juggernaut and then the one shutdown / offensive line, or my two scoring lines, one checking, and one shutdown line. It'll be interesting how they play these players. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, so that has it for this video. We break down our forward lines. Tune into the next video that we're releasing later on this week, where we're going to talk about our defensive pairings. We're going to put our 6 starting defensemen and then 2 extras, and then we'll also talk about our 3 goalies that we choose for the lineup. So tune in later on this week.